Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. I literally just got home. Belum mandi, belum ganti baju, and baru nak set up my Thermomix. So, quick tip, if you have TM5 and TM6, kalau confused yang mana satu, kalau TM6 everything is green, so you will have something green at the base, you will have extra green here for your blade, your mixing knife, and then this one also green, so everything green. Then you know this is your TM6 bowl. And for those who don't know, dia ada high heat punya ni lagi. And then since I just got home, even my machine kurang bersih. So this is totally unscripted and live, paling live. So I'm just using a damp cloth here to give it a wipe. Malu lah kan. Ni. So you can see everything that's happening in my kitchen. Malu pula. Okay, so please invite kawan-kawan to see the step-by-step tutorial that I'm going to show. I will show you how to make pizza from scratch, including the dough, the punya sauce, the tomato sauce, and then I'll give you some tips on freezing the dough, tips on the toppings, and calculation, jimat mana pakai homemade pizza ni, and a few other things. Tapi bagi Mimi masa sedikit, Mimi nak solat, asal sekejap. So invite friends. I'll be back shortly. I will pray for about 5 minutes and start by then. Please invite friends. Okay, so I'll be right back. Siapa yang dah ada, segan pula. Kenapa tak boleh baca komen? Oh, Surya. Salam Surya. Alamak. Kenapa tak boleh tengok? Tak boleh tengok. I don't know why I cannot see. See all. Thanks, Surya. Okay, hi Shireen. I'm just gonna pray for a while. Ni Acu Acu. Okay, sekejap Waalaikumsalam. Mimi nak solat dulu ya. I will pray first. Okay, let me pin this so that people know. I'll be right back. So lampu belum on, segala benda belum siap. Okay, I'll be right back. Kena mute dulu, nanti you all dengar pula segala benda. How do I mute this? Mute. I don't know how to mute this. Tak apalah. Kids, the thing is running. You better be careful because the video is still on. Nak solat asal sekejap. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Hi, Mariam. Okay, I'm back. So this is as real as it gets. I just got home, belum sempat mandi, belum sempat buat apa-apa. Tapi inilah hidup mothers kan. Everything is so rushed. I baru nak set up I punya mic so you can hear me better. Okay. Can you hear me just fine? I'm just gonna show how I'm going to start. Untuk jimat masa. Tak boleh mute FB Live. Yeah, it's very much live. Alright. So, yes, you can hear Thomas. Thomas is he's very hungry and he's asking for food. So, first of all, the recipe that I'm going to use is pizza dough from Basic Cookbook. So you can follow if you're a TM5 user, you can check or your terpotong pula punya kepala. Naikkan sikit. Sorry. There you go. So you can check your Basic Cookbook for the recipe, and the other way is you can also check recently cooked items. If you cooked it already, then you just see I have it here, pizza dough, baru buat. Because tadi I was still in the office and I asked my son to prepare one recipe for me. And the other way is through your Cookie-Doo. You go to cookiedoo.international on your phone or your computer. I have my laptop right here. And then you look for pizza dough and then you mark it as cooked today. So you log in. So kita tengok sekarang ni in my screen, my week. There's nothing. I haven't set anything for today. So I'm gonna do it here in my computer. Pizza dough. Please ignore my hungry cat. He's always hungry. And then I'm gonna tap on cook today. So I will show you how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. And I'm gonna tap on cook today over here. Okay, cook today. And it's set to cook today. And then we're gonna refresh this. And sekejap lagi you will see dia akan keluar sini. Sekarang ni there's nothing in my cook today. But the synchronization is automatic and instantaneous, and you don't have to do anything. It will show up immediately in your week. See? I tak boleh angkat I punya RPM6, but suddenly it's here. Tadi tak ada apa-apa and now it's here. So I just start cooking and I go back to Facebook so that I can see what's happening. I can see your comments. Right? And then my mic, yes, I was supposed to start with my mic. Nak masukkan battery so you can hear me better as I walk around. Okay, so sambil nak buat ni, just to share, I always tell people that when I'm rushing, when I don't have time, when I'm too tired to cook, I always cook pizza. And people are like, biar betul. Yes, biar betul. Okay, so I have the transmitter. The transmitter will be attached to my mic over here, so this should work. Okay, and then I have my receiver, and my receiver should connect to my phone. And let's see if this works. We turn both on and let me know if the sound works. Okay, Bismillah. Can you hear me? How is my sound? Can you hear me? Dah boleh dengar ke? How is it now? Bunyi dah okay ke? How's the sound now? Okay dah? Okay, thanks Joyce. Okay, so as I was saying tadi, the recipe calls for lukewarm water. But if you have a Thermomix, no need to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to 37 degrees. Tadi I already measured the water, 220 grams as per the recipe. And then I activate my kettle mode. And I'm just going to put it at 37 and then turn it on. So this is the nice thing about our TM6 punya kettle. It's very, very high tech. Kita set kita punya temperature. And then there's no minimum in terms of quantity. So if say you just want to heat up a bit of warm water for your drink, you can do so. 1 cup, 1 bottle, up to you. And then you can choose exactly what temperature you want. And what's even more amazing actually is, even if we don't use lukewarm water for this recipe, masih jadi. Menarik kan? Okay. Tapi, just for the sake of, I wanted to highlight and showcase our kettle mode. So this is one way that you can use it. So you don't have to worry about getting hot water, mixing it with some other water, and you have it here. Then, the rest of the recipe, kita check. Pizza dough dekat sini. Oh, tak payah tengok ni pun, lupa. Okay, kita punya recipe dia dah bookmark kat sini, so we don't have to worry about it. Lepas tu, ya, bila kettle mode ni, we go back to the recipe. Oh, tak boleh rasanya bila kettle mode. Tak apa, I boleh check. Oh, kejap lagi. It's almost done because dia dah 37 dah. I can also look at cookie dough. The next one would be to add the flour, the oil, and the salt. That's it. So, it calls for optional 1 teaspoon of sugar. Dah pun Mimit belum habis bercakap. Dia dah habis dah. So, we have our water. Next would be optional sugar. Okay lah, kita pun ambil sugar. Mimi kan baru balik kerja. So, I do exactly that. And then, dia kata dalam 1 teaspoon. Kita agak-agak je. Ni 1 tablespoon, kita agak-agak je. Ni pun optional. Kalau tak nak gula, tak apa. Tapi dia akan percepatkan kita punya yeast punya activity. And then, we add in 2 teaspoons of yeast. My yeast is in my freezer. Sorry about that. I forgot to take it out. So this is one way of preserving your yeast. After you buy your yeast, transfer to an airtight container and put it in the freezer. That way, it's preserved and the action is, you will not have a problem lah. So kita nak 2 teaspoon dried yeast. Just make sure dia masuk dalam air and it doesn't get stuck on the mixing knife. And this is another tip. Keep a measuring spoon inside your yeast container. I actually use from one of those ubat. Dulu-dulu anak-anak punya ubat kan dapat sudu kecil ni. So it's perfect. So I have my yeast in there. And then next. So now we close it. Insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl lid. And always make sure bila nak tutup tu, you make sure the gasket tu masuk and then kita tekan dia sikit. Especially when your TM6 is new. Kita kena tekan dia, make sure the lid tu dah tutup rapat so that our locking arms will not be overtaxed. So kalau kita tak tutup ni dengan rapat, nanti every time kita nak tutup tu, we have to depend on the locking arms to close it tightly. It can actually damage the surface of your TM6. Then you'll start to see cracks over here or maybe over here. Crack tu, if it so happen that your unit will have cracks, sekejap sangat. If it so happen that your unit has cracks, tak ada masalah, masih boleh guna, kurang cantik je lah. Tak apalah. Tapi kalau nak elakkan benda tu, always make sure that your lid is closed properly. Okay, so now it says 400 grams of baker's flour. And this is another thing, when you open your lid, you flip it over, so if dia ada kuah apa-apa ke, it doesn't drip on your counter. And then I'm gonna tear it. Baker's flour is actually high protein flour. Be right back, my flour is right there. Dah maghrib dah. Tapi inilah hidup mak-mak kan. Usually we are slaving over the stove and tak ada masa pun nak mandi, nak solat. Tapi yang ni kita boleh tinggalkan while it's baking. That's why I love to use this. Okay, so kita nak 400 gram. Kalau tak ada baker's flour, bolehlah all-purpose flour juga, jadi juga. But maybe it will take a bit longer to proof. Okay, so ni dah 369. And you might be wondering why I have so many Tupperwares of this flour, because actually I buy flour by the sacks. Guni, satu guni tu 25 kilo. And supaya dia tahan lebih lama and tak kena kutu, we transfer them into individual plastic containers yang airtight, so tak kena kutu. It's much better than ikat-ikat, sebab kalau ikat-ikat kutu tu masih boleh masuk, tapi bila kita pakai yang airtight macam ni, insyaAllah selamat. Okay, so 400 gram tepung and then 30 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Where are you, my olive oil? Come to mama. 30 gram je, tapi it adds so much flavor. 30 gram. Dia lari sikit sebab ada kipas, tapi it's okay. And this is good oil, it's good for the body. Alright. So, seterusnya, tepung gandum, kalau, ya betul tu Mariam, kalau tepung high protein flour atau tepung roti tak ada, tepung gandum pun boleh. Sekarang kita nak garam. 1 sudu kecil, 1 teaspoon. So, I also have the same spoon in here, because it's so easy, and see, it's labeled Himalayan pink rock salt. So, this is another hack that you can do in your kitchen, because a lot of things, they're sold in those packets, kan? So, you can actually just cut the label and then you just stick on with tape. Jimat, tak perlu beli all those labeling punya equipment. If you can, of course, it's much nicer, but this is a cheap way of labeling your stuff. Okay, so I've got my salt, and then we cover it. Again, make sure dirapat. And this is the best part, kneading 2 minutes only. Tu dia. Okay, so sambil tu, bolehlah I tengok your comments or questions. Waalaikumsalam to those who just joined. Hi Adrina, dah masak ke belum? Sorry tadi tak ada sound. Tercabut tadi. Okay. So this is kneading. What do? I will prepare my baking tin. Okay. Be right back. It's right here at the back. And also I'm gonna preheat my oven to 220 degrees. So hari ini, I'm actually going to show you that you can use the fancy schmancy pizza tins. This is 13 inches. I have this one. It's non-stick. And I also have my oven. My oven is the type that you can put in the tray straight away. And then I just put this, what's this, a non-stick mat reusable type. You can buy it from baking shops. I bought mine from House of Ingredients. And then lapik dia macam ni. So, dah siap. Oven pun tengah panaskan. If I'm not mistaken, it's 220. And then, just make sure every time that you are kneading, this is very, very important, you have to keep an eye on your machine. Jangan tinggalkan lama-lama. Bolehlah sekejap-sekejap tadi kan. Sekejap-sekejap ambil baking tin and whatnot. Tapi jangan tinggalkan dia lama-lama, because you have a lot of ingredients in here. The motor is so powerful. Sambil dia tengah uli tu, it's possible for the machine to move. So always keep an eye on it. Itu je, 2 minit. Very, very short. Whether you're making bread or mantau or pizza dough, same tip. So ada banyak tips dah tu, okay? Bolehlah lap-lap meja sikit. Tengok komen sikit. Yes, senang sangat. See, imagine this. I can even be seated while doing this. So, kita tak sihat pun boleh buat. Anak pun boleh buat. Sambil anak buat, kita supervise saja. And now, the only thing left to do is to transfer the dough to our thermomat or to your greased bowl. So, the bowl, I'll show you a sample. Okay lah, tunjuklah sample. Sebab namanya tutorial kan. So, you can take a large bowl. And then you can take a little bit of your oil. You can use a pastry brush or you can use your hand, up to you lah. And then you put in your dough in here. So that's one way. But the easy way is to take our thermomat. So this is a thermomat. It's created exclusively for the Thermomix. It's made in Italy. It's a silicone mat. It's thin, it's flexible, it's soft. See, boleh lipat-lipat. And it lasts for a long time. It can withstand low temperatures and also high temperatures. So I'm just going to move this a little bit so I have a bit of room. And you just have to transfer your dough, okay? Angkat je, angkat straight, tak payah nak goyang-goyang dia. Angkat je because kita nak jaga kita punya cover plate. Nama dia ni cover plate. So technical, right? Okay. Tapi kita nak jaga dia supaya dia tak crack. Because tendency yang ni crack kalau terlanggar dengan mixing bowl. That's the most common one. And also the other cause is kalau kita tertutup rapat. And yang ni kita hanya terbalikkan just like that. And we remove the bowl base. Just like that. So our dough and the mixing knife semua turun ke bawah. So easy. So at this point, see my bowl, it's so clean. I will not wash my bowl yet because I'm going to make the tomato punya sauce. So I will assemble this back. Jimat masa, tak perlu basuh-basuh in between. Okay, letak dia balik dulu. And then yang ni, kasihlah cantik sikit. You don't have to knead anymore. You just have to form it into like a ball. Satukan dia. So satukan dia. And then if you use your hands, it takes a bit longer. But if you use the thermomat, lagi senang, lagi cepat. So kita nak kasih dia licin sikit je so that when it rises, dia cantik, nampak cantik kita punya apa? Dough ni. And you don't have to form it into a ball because my family likes the pizza to be thin, the crust to be thin and macam hand tossed style, even though I don't toss it. So instead of making a ball, I make it into slightly elongated shape so that I can easily cut it into two. Okay, and I just kasih dia licin je macam ni. Sikit-sikit je, tak payah ni tau, nak bagi dia licin sikit je. Sikit je, tak perlu perfect. And then you wrap it loosely, so this side goes over this side, and then the other side goes over this side. Lepas tu, yang tepi ni, kita lipat dia macam ni. Macam nasi lemak. Just like this. And then we set it aside. Tu dah. And then yang ni I can, kejap I just check the temperature dia. Oh, tak cakap pula. It's about 220 if I'm not mistaken. So yang ni kita sambung kejap lagi. So the dough macam tu je. So I have another set here. I mean in real life, I'll be leaving this. I will go upstairs, I'll shower, I will pray. So nice, right? And I don't even have to preheat my oven yet. I'll do it afterwards. But because I already have another batch here, I preheated my oven and I have my batch here. This is how it looks like. Oh, I need to show you the before and after so you can see the difference. Okay, nampak tak beza dia? Nampak ke? Nampak Nampak kan? Double kan? So yang ni before dia naik, easily double. Ni dia. So, yang ni kita bungkus balik. I'll make another batch with this. Dan kita letak tepi. Okay. And then we just set aside. Yang ni dah sudah. So, now I'm going to divide this into two because I'm going to make one bulat and one rectangular. So, yang ni I will drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. Yang ni letak tepi sekejap. Okay. Macam-macam minyak. Okay, so you just ala-ala Jamie Oliver. Tak pandai sebenarnya. So, I will use, because I don't want my hands to be so messy, I'm going to look for my pastry brush. See, this is, and then you just kind of swish it around. Sikit-sikit je. Tak perlu banyak sangat. And then I'm gonna do this. I don't need to do for my this one. Tak perlu. Sorry. Okay, so yang tu letak tepi. And then I have my dough here. So for the dough, you can actually use your sorry. Nak divide the dough tu, you can use your spatula or you can use your dough cutter. the dough cutter ni, make sure the plastic if you're using your thermomat, because nanti dia terluka and then kesian your thermomat tu. So either way you can use it. So this is the nice thing about Thermomix. It's multi-purpose. So macam tu je. Then you divide it already. Now ideally kita nak hand toast dia, tapi tak pandai. So I will not hand toast it, and instead I'll stretch it out. And what's interesting about pizza dough is you do not stretch it from the sides. For some reason, just stretch from the center. So you can use your fingertips, you can use your palm, up to you. I think when they toss it, dia macam ni lah kan. So I'll even do like fist like this, and then I will stretch it from the bottom. I'll stretch my fingers a little bit. Macam ni je. Okay. So it can be any shape or size that you want. And if you want to freeze it, you have to do it after you shape it. So basically, bagi dia naik dulu. Sebab if you want to portion and shape right after kneading, dia punya gluten tu belum sempat nak relax. So it will not stretch. But this one, after it has risen, after it has doubled in volume, dia punya gluten tu dah relax. So dia dah boleh stretch macam ni. Kita dah boleh portion dia, dah boleh portion and divide easily. So for freezing, once you do it like this, then you just have to lapik dengan baking paper. Not the grease-proof paper, you have to use the parchment paper, the non-stick baking paper. You can ask the kedai which one. And then you can put in Ziploc bag. So if you're large Ziploc bag, then by all means you can use it. And then if paling senang, usually buat kecil-kecil, you can do like the solo ones. So it's even nicer. It can be a PKP activity for the kids. You can make it small, and then you just divide the toppings so that they can be creative with their own toppings. So, kan budak-budak cuti sekarang kan, kalau tak cuti pun learn from home, punyalah pening mak bapak. So we can actually get them to do their own pizzas. And then you just stretch it out a bit. Okay, macam ni je, very easy. Kalau nak bagi dia stretch lagi, nak bagi dia macam jatuh macam ni je dari tepi. Rather than you fight with it, you let gravity do the work for you. Dia akan jatuh macam ni. Tadi sebab dah berminyak, dia susah nak bergerak. And then you have to do it gently so that dia tak terkoyak. If you are too impatient and you tear it, you will have holes, and some of the pizza sauce might tembus, they go through, and it can be messy. I mean, tak nampak tapi messy lah. Okay. So it's like this, and then I have the other one, which I'm gonna stretch the same way. Ismail, Abang, can you help me please? Zakaria, please help me then. I just need you to plug my laptop so I can see what's happening. So we do the same thing with our rectangular pizza. Rectangular, interesting juga because you can divide it into sectors and you can have macam-macam topping. You can even shape it into letters if you wish. Zakaria, come here. Zakaria, please plug in my laptop so that I can see myself live. Thank you. And then can you turn it on? Plug it in first. I cannot touch it. You have to plug it in. Wait. Can you turn it on for me? My hands are filled with oil. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So basically macam ni lah. Okay. I will not spend too much time doing this because dah maghrib and I know you all want to pray also. So I'm just going to show how it looks like, lebih kurang. So you can go as thin as you want here. So yang ni boleh jadi extra thin and crispy. So tak cantik pun tak apa. Okay, macam ni je. So lebih kurang macam ni. And ni boleh stretch lagi kalau nak. So I'm just gonna work with this with the round one that I have here, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the toppings. Okay, toppings ada beberapa pilihan. You can do the easy way, and you can use one of those. I've actually seen some people using tomato paste. I've seen people using the canned ones or the ones in the bottles. But what I do, either I take my tomatoes and I use my homemade tomato sauce from Cookie Dough. And this one nampak orangey because I used local tomatoes. And local tomatoes sadly dia tak pakai ripe. So it's good to use vine ripened tomatoes so you get the nice color. Or you can do like me and we make our topping ourselves using about 2 cloves of garlic. Okay. And some tomatoes. So yang ni kita boleh peel dia using the Thermomix. We dump it in and we do 5 seconds. Reverse. Speed 5. Thermometer dah boleh simpan, letak tepi. Okay. Okay, dia dah habis peel. We just take out the skin. Ini bukannya tak nak pegang tapi nak jimat masa. So I've peeled my garlic and then I'm just gonna add some tomatoes. So fresh tomato, what do I have? I have a bit of cherry tomatoes in here and also tomato besar. So yang ni agak-agak je. Agak-agak. So the small ones, just dump in. This one, if it goes through the hole, then you dump in also. But if you want it to be finer, you can cut into half to be safe. So just like that. And then what else? So we have our garlic, we have our tomato. And then you can add a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon. I never wrote this down, it's all agak-agak. And this one is oregano. This is very important because oregano will give it the distinctive pizza punya aroma. Then I also have some down basil, that's the sede. I will wash it and I'll put it in. The sede because I forgot about it. But I can still use it. So I wash it and I only take the leaves. I don't want the stem. And I dump it in. Dia tak cantik tapi dia masih elok je. Dia lembik je. Okay. And that's it. Kalau tak ada daun basil pun tak apa. We can just use garlic, tomato, oregano, and a bit of salt. And then I'm just going to blitz this for about 10 seconds on speed 5. Kalau nak halus, 5 seconds speed 8 pun boleh. Okay, done. So you have the tomato here. So my tomatoes are not very ripe. That's why color dia tak berapa cantik. Tapi tak apa, dia sedap. And lagi pun, benda ni kita tak nampak. Nanti it will be covered by our cheese and toppings. So this can actually be enough for my 2 pizzas. And you just spread it out. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Kalau rasa tak cukup, tambah lagi tomato tu. Boleh je. Actually, I want to add more tomatoes, but I want to make sure my daun basil tu cukup. So I'll add just a little bit more tomato. 3 seconds, speed 8. Boop. So bila kita dah biasa pakai kita punya Thermomix ni, agak-agak dah dia punya setting. Okay. So I can add a bit more of my tomato over here. Dah cantik. Okay. So yang ni dah sudah. So this is it. Tak perlu beli mahal-mahal. You can use longgok-longgok punya tomato yang dah overripe tu pun boleh. And it would still taste nice. And then you just cover this with grated mozzarella cheese. Now, one tip on the mozzarella, kalau nak murah, tolong jangan beli dari supermarket. Supermarket punya mozzarella cheese sangat mahal. So what I do, I buy from the baking ingredient shop. You can get 1 kilo dalam RM70 macam tu, RM80. 2 kilo rather, 2 kilo. And I've calculated, say 2 kilos, for example, 2 kilos of the one that's not shredded yet. 2 kilos is say 80 ringgit. We put it on the higher side. 80 ringgit 2 kilos, that means 1 kilo is about 40 ringgit, which I can divide into 10 portions of 100 grams each. Meaning to say, each portion of 100 grams too is 4 ringgit. And the 100 grams is actually enough for one pizza. That is kalau nak jimat lah, cukup-cukup jadi punya pizza. If you want it to be extra cheese, 150 grams pun dah cukup. Kalau nak extra cheese, 200 grams lah. Tapi katakan 150 grams baru 6 ringgit. Kalau 200 grams pun, which is like extra generous with the cheese already, baru 8 ringgit. 8 plus 8 baru 16 ringgit. And then tepung berapa je? Tepung maybe 2 ringgit because it's like half a kilo. So cheap. And then the toppings, you have so many options on the toppings. So today I'm going to use, for this one I'm going to make vegetarian. So I have a bit of bell pepper in here. I have onion and I have olives. So this is going to be fantastic. These are black olives. And you might think, vegetarian pizza, anak-anak I allergic lah dengan perkataan vegetable. Jangan risau. This actually tastes very, very good. So yang ni I just rinse and then I'm just gonna cut into strips. Thin strips sebab kita nak ada color tu. Cantik sangat. And the secret to vegetarian pizza is to heap on the toppings. For bell pepper, the taste is actually fantastic once it's grilled. Like if you go to those Arab restaurants, they always serve you grilled vegetable. Benda-benda macam ni dia sedap bila dia ada grill. Something about the heat, it caramelizes the veggie and it tastes so good. So you add a bit of color, because we all eat with our eyes first. We eat with our eyes, with our nose, and then only with our mouth. So we always make sure kita punya presentation tu cantik. Okay, so boleh buat laju-laju. And then you can even prep the ingredients siap-siap. Maybe in the morning, lepas subuh tu. So that by the time you go home petang, dah siap dah. Or maybe you can do this while we are kneading. Boleh juga macam tu. Okay, and the most important of all is the onion. This one. This will give such a wonderful flavor. Dia macam slightly smoky, slightly sweet macam tu. I know, onion. And your kids will like it. If you have mushrooms, tambahlah mushroom. So you just peel it, just like that. And then you can cut into rings or you can cut into thin slices. I prefer thin slices lah. So macam ni. And then I just sprinkle it all over my pizza. And for added flavor, I'm adding in some black olives. Hi Maisara, how are you? Waalaikumsalam Kak Izan, lama tak jumpa. Masya Allah, sehat ke Kak Izan? Dah vaksin ke belum? So macam ni je. And then tak semestinya you all guna ni tau. You can also use leftover, contohnya leftover daging ataupun ayam. Say you had roast chicken ke, rendang ke, shred it. Kalau nak bilas sikit. And then dia punya base tu pun you can actually change to, dia punya base tu you can use the spice, Nyonya spice paste from Cookie Dough. You can use that also. Should have used a fork. So kita punya olive ni we just cut into rings. So jadilah macam those things that we see in the photos. Cantik dia. It's more of a visual treat. Lepas tu dia macam masin-masin sikit. Sedap. Dia tak kelat. Kalau yang hijau tu dia kelat. Tapi yang hijau ni dia masin-masin. Manis tapi masin. Very nice. Makan macam tu je pun sedap. And then you just sprinkle cheese lah. Macam tu je. And then bakar dia. So easy. Oh, cheese, yeah. Hang on. Tak apa. Yeah, I found some mushrooms. You can also add some mushrooms. And mushroom ni, tak payah bilas pun. Kalau ada benda hitam-hitam, you just buang. And then you just slice it. And then you add it to your pizza. So nice. You won't believe how good this tastes. You will only find out by doing it yourself. Nanti rasa sure jatuh cinta. Even my little boy Zakaria, the one who helped me turn on my laptop just now, he loves this so much. And yang penting tu, onion tu jangan kedekut. Tambah extra sikit lagi pun tak apa. Okay. And then the cheese, when you buy in bulk, you grate siap-siap. You can use the recipe in cookie dough also. And then you pack them individually into like 100 gram punya packets. So it saves you a lot of time. So you just keluarkan, kasih dia thaw. You can freeze half of it. You can keep half of it in the fridge. And just like that, you are ready to bake. So, hang on. F5. My video dekat laptop ni dia frozen. So macam ni je. So this one is ready to go into the oven. Since dah nak maghrib dah, I will just show you the finished results later and I will not hold you any longer. Thank you so much for joining me. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan, sila tanya. I'll be most happy to answer. So I've answered tips on freezing, tips on shaping, and then tips on the toppings as well. And I did the calculation for you. Easily yang ni berapa ringgit je? Tak sampai 10 ringgit pun. At most, I would say, if you buy all those expensive topping yang daging-daging tu, paling mahal pun 15 ringgit. 15 ringgit kali 2 baru 30 ringgit. Ini kalau beli kat luar, easily 50 ringgit. So just imagine the savings that you get. Even if you don't put any toppings, cukup je cheese dengan tomato pun dah cukup sedap. Oh, and if you don't like tomato-based pizza, you can also use feta cheese and caramelized onions. Feta cheese and onions, and then you just drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. So you get the rich lemak-lemak taste, salty taste of the feta cheese too, and it will be balanced by the caramelized onions. It's so good. You should give it a try. Okay, that's all from me for today. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan, you can always leave a comment there. And you can also leave a comment in my Facebook page, Quick and Easy Cooking with Mimi. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks, Shireen. Thanks, Mariam. Sorry, tangan I tak boleh nak scroll, nak tengok nama-nama. But I really appreciate you joining me today. So, selamat bersolat maghrib, selamat ber-PKP kat rumah. I hope this gives you an idea of just how easy it is to make pizza with the Thermomix. And I hope that you managed to pick up some tips from me today. This is Mimi signing off for today. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.